Radio check, loud and clear. Alrighty, we are live. Thank you everyone for tuning in and coming along to the coverage here in Zandvoort. We are 30 minutes away from the start of free practice 2, and the rain that we hoped would arrive has been delayed a little bit. So by the looks of it, the circuit is dry as of right now, but the rain forecast to fall a little bit later on, so we'll wait and see if it does arrive. Um, yeah, a fairly eventful free practice 1 session, to be honest. We did have Kimi Antonelli DNF from the session. Max Verstappen got stuck in the gravel right at the end. I don't know how he did that, or, well, yeah, I just don't know. Max got stuck in the gravel right at the end, which was very, very odd. And Sonoda found his way onto the gravel, managed to make his way out. Quite a few drivers, in fact, made their way onto the gravel and managed to get themselves back out, take to Escape Road, because, yeah, here in Zandvoort, it is a very, very narrow circuit, and not a lot of runoff. So, not a lot of runoff just tends yourself to, a lot more mistakes and a lot more drivers going off on gravel traps. So, yeah, the drivers will, of course, get used to it, and they'll get much more into the flow of things, so these mistakes should go down in frequency. If we look at the speed traps, we've got the quickest car through the speed traps being Carlos Sainz, 327 kilometers per hour, his teammate Alex Albon, 325 kilometers per hour, and the rest of the drivers all very, very close within that sort of window. And Hamilton, Ocon, Behrman, Leclerc, the Ferrari-powered cars running the lowest top speed and the highest downforce of 321 kilometers per hour, but really a difference of only 6 kilometers per hour is very, very minor. Everyone is running pretty similar levels of downforce, and Kimi Antonelli is there in dead last because he didn't get to run on lower fuel, giving him an extra bit of top speed because he crashed a little bit too early in the session. All right. No rain yet, no. Unfortunately, folks, I do apologise. I will, the adverts, hopefully no more adverts come through. I think there's just one that plays every time the stream starts, but fortunately can't do anything about that. Also, I guess we've got 700 people tuned in. I might as well show you guys the merch. There is a link to the merch in the chat, and there's also a link in the description, but I'll quickly just show you a sort of selection of designs that have come up and that I've made. So here we go. Yeah, so I've got a George Russell hoodie. Most of these designs have got hoodies or t-shirts attached to them, but you can go have a look on the website yourself. But I think they're quite nice, especially the Charles Leclerc one that has got that's sort of like a newspaper style. I'm planning to do one for all sort of the championship winners, like Hamilton will have one, Verstappen will have one, but this Prince of Monaco one that I made about Leclerc winning the Monaco Grand Prix last year, I think is quite nice. But yeah, those are the sort of merch designs that I've made. They're up on the website, so if you guys are interested, go ahead and check it out. It does support the channel, and you get something back in return as well. Okay. I ordered the Lewis one. Oh, fantastic. Also, it started dropping a bit. Okay, that's brilliant. That is brilliant then. So good news then. A little bit of drops of rain here and there. And yeah, I suspect the rain will get heavier and heavier as we go on. So a few drops of rain as we see in Zandvoort. And yeah, it was delayed. I was expecting it to have rained by now, but it's getting heavier and heavier as time wears on. Can you do some meme ones as well? Yeah, I will be doing some meme ones. I needed to like figure out how to actually get everything set up, but I have ordered samples and stuff, so all of the t-shirts and the hoodies are really nice quality. The t-shirts are 100% cotton and stuff like that. They do all smell a little bit weird because of the printing process when it first arrives to your house, but if you just put it in the washing machine as soon as you get it, and then you can wear it after that, and the smell's gone, and all the design's nice, it doesn't shrink. And yeah, it's just I'm in fact wearing it right. I'm wearing one of the hoodies right now. So, yeah. Is the temp going to drop on Sunday? Well, it really depends on the track. Well, it really depends on if it rains or not. Like the weather forecast. I have the weather forecast here somewhere. Where have I put it? Oh yeah, here it is. The weather forecast says that on Sunday we're going to be seeing air temperatures around 20 degrees or so, and that's sort of what we're seeing today as well, air temperature of 20 degrees. So it just depends. If it rains, then track temperature will be lower. If the sun comes out, then track temperature will be higher. But air temperature is staying around about the same. All right. What are your opinions on the new Cadillac drivers? I think it's fantastic, really. To have Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas back in the sport. I think they'll be a great sort of help to Cadillac, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see that Cadillac will be using the Ferrari engines next year. You know, they do intend on having a power unit themselves, but I think for the first 2 or 3 years of Formula One, they're going to be using the Ferrari engine, and then once they sort of understand and get to grips with the Ferrari engine and also get to grips with all of the Formula One regulations, then they're going to dive into the engine regulations and try and design an engine. But they'll be using the Ferrari engine, so it'll be good to see, Bottas and Perez drive a Ferrari powered car, and yeah, hopefully they'll be challenging, quite solidly in the midfield. It will be a bit of a shame to see them fight right at the back of the pack. You know, they have they're just so consistent, such reliable drivers. You know, Valtteri Bottas had a Q3 streak of 103 races, I think. 103 races in a row, Valtteri Bottas made it through into Q3. Just utter consistency. And Sergio Perez, if you exclude his final couple of years at Red Bull, his driving was also exceptional. The amount of incredible performances that he put together for Force India and scored surprise podiums out of nowhere, it is absolutely fantastic. Of course, Cadillac will love the sponsorship money that comes with Sergio Perez. All of the Mexican sponsors come with him as well. So yeah, I think the Cadillac have made the right choice. They've gone for two really experienced drivers, and if they want to, well, I'm sure they want to become the fastest team in Formula One, but they actually have the correct footing to do so. Haas, their aim, of course, all teams have an aim of, we want to be the fastest team in Formula One, but having Esteban Ocon and Oliver Bearman as your two drivers isn't going to lend itself to being the quickest team on the grid, because you're not getting the most accurate feedback from the drivers. Like Bearman, of course, a rookie. Valtteri Bottas, he'll feel something in the car. He'll say, the car understeers on the mid corner going through the high speed corners, and then the engineers can use that information, and then they can modify the setup, or they can design some upgrade packages, whereas you don't get such accurate information from rookie drivers because they just haven't been driving in Formula 1 for so long. That's part of the reason why Michael Schumacher was so good and could be, is up there with the is of course a very quick driver, but he's also a very big team player. The fact that he can get in the car and give feedback immediately to all the engineers about what the car is doing specifically, where, how to fix it, and stuff like that. That's very, very crucial to building a championship-winning team. Not just, you can be a quick driver, but then there's also the team aspect of Formula One. And I think Bottas and Perez, with all of their experience, will lend themselves very nicely to performing at Cadillac. Yeah. All right. Imagine if Valtteri overtakes Hamilton. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen those two race each other again since Valtteri left Mercedes, because Hamilton was still stayed at Mercedes for a while, and then Valtteri was at Alfa Romeo and then Kick Sauber, of course, but they were never really together fighting against each other. So maybe that'll happen. All right. F1 Gamer Surfshark plug. Oh yeah, I guess I could mention that. Sure. Yeah, folks. If you guys want to get Surfshark VPN, it essentially allows you to watch Formula One for only $2 a month. So there's a link in the description. You join an Austrian VPN server. You go onto Google. You search ORF. You log in, and you can enjoy watching Formula One. Yeah, that's about it really. We've got like 500 or so people using it on the channel right now, so it definitely does work. And yeah, there's a link in the description. I've got some memes up here for after FP1. We've got Stroll and Alonso up in third and fourth position. Some sensational performances from them. Ferrari down in 14th and 15th is just outright terrible. But I guess we'll see how it goes. That's very much accurately describes the Ferrari cycle. Last weekend in Hungary, they were so back when Charles Leclerc got pole. This weekend, it's very much over by the looks of it. But Fernando Alonso has been putting together some great performances so far, and out of nowhere, they've just suddenly become speed because. Well, I guess the track sort of suits them, and their upgrade package that they brought in Imola is still working wonders at these sort of old school narrow circuits. So I think that Aston will be able to keep a top 5, yeah. And maybe next year, maybe 2026 is Aston Martin's year. Maybe it's Fernando Alonso's year to get his 33rd race win. Maybe it's his chance to get his third title. I guess we shall see. Doom currently sitting at turn 8 myself at the entrance around the 50-meter breakpoint. Oh, well, that's fantastic, Doom. That's a great place to sit. You see the cars go round the corners at like such high speed and on the limit of grip like that's a great spot. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, would you like to give us a bit of a weather update? What is the weather saying at Zandvoort right now? We heard a little bit earlier on that there were a few drops here and there. Has the rain intensified? Have the drops stopped falling? Do let us know. That would be very, very kind of you. Alright, the free practice 2 data will be coming through in about 10 minutes time. We're 18 minutes away from the start of the session, and yeah. It was a pretty exciting free practice 1, quite a lot of spins and lockups and stuff like that, but the drivers should have settled into their rhythm now, and we should be getting some more long runs, and then towards the end of the session we'll be getting some soft tyre runs as well, because this is the session that is most representative to qualifying, so this, FP2 is the ideal session really to do your quali sims, and that's what we'll be expecting to happen in the second half of this session. F1 Game, I love the memes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. F1 Game, do you think Russell will have a chance to win on Sunday? Well, looking at their performances so far, Russell a little bit too far back off the pace to really be challenging for the win, but if it starts raining, then who knows what can happen. Yeah. F1 Gamer, please tell the viewers to hype the stream as well. It's a new YouTube feature for boosting small channels to new audiences. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Well, I'm not sure. I was looking into that a little bit. I'm not sure it's been released to every single country in the world, but I guess if there's a hype button next to the screen somewhere for you folks, then be sure to hype the stream. Maybe it'll help. Who knows? Why does it show Max stopped as FP1? It is because Max did stop. At the end of the FP1 session, after the grid starts and everything were done, I'd ended the stream at that point because everyone was just driving back to the pit lane. But on that lap driving back to the pits, Max Verstappen went off into the barrier, went off into the gravel trap. Yeah, very, very surprising. But they recovered the car and it's fine. But yeah, I don't know how that happened. Right, let's see. Do you want to see the memes again? Sure, there we go. You guys can enjoy some memes while we're waiting. But what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, I thought we could do some F1 trivia while we're waiting here. So before before Zandvoort rejoined the Formula One calendar in I think in 2021 or 2020. What was the last race held at Zandvoort before, the 2020 or the 20? I don't know how to phrase this. 2020. I think it was 2021. Where he raced in Zandvoort. Yeah. So what was the previous race before 2021 when Formula One last raced here? What are your thoughts on the 2026 regs? Well, we were talking about this in Free Practice 1, weren't we? And it was very much like, well, firstly they need to change the MOM mode. It's manual override mode. That's the official, that's the full form of it. But if you shorten it down, it's MOM mode, which is it's just stupid, and that needs to change. But apart from that, I would much prefer to have V6 engines rather than V4s. But if they just added in some regulations to say that the engines have got to sound good, then not have to sound good, but make them sound loud at least, and that might improve things. But I really don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. The last race that we had here in Zandvoort before 2021 was in 1985. By the looks of it, yeah. At least that's what Wikipedia said when I was doing my research for the trivia. All right. I'm pretty sure it's V4s. Wait. I will double check this, but for whatever reason, I thought it was V4s. Um, like the MotoGP bikes have V4s. Of course, they don't have twin turbos, but V4 or V6 F1. Let's see. Oh no. Wait. Let's see. Are they going to have a V4 or a V6? Well, someone else could probably confirm in the chat. Probably know a little bit better than me. Is the map working? Yes, the map is going to be working. So, yeah. Oh no, it might still be V6s. Hmm. Oh no, it is still a V6, I think. Um. Right. Well, I guess I was wrong then. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I got the V4 idea from, but anyway. Give us your quali predictions. My quali predictions. I think Max Verstappen is going to put together a lap like he did in Suzuka, and he's going to get pole position. Bit of a stretch, really, considering that he was 9/10 of a second off Lando Norris in FP1. But I think with some setup changes and a good lap on his side, we could see that. The only reason I think that's going to happen is because that's the only way that Max can win here in Zandvoort. He's not going to be able to overtake during the race because the McLarens are super duper quick in race conditions, but Verstappen does have a chance of sacrificing all race performance, going for a qualifying setup, and then sticking the car on pole, and then basically just saying, I'm just going to defend for the entire race. Oh, it is raining here, folks. There are drops on the camera. And yeah, so it has started raining ever so slightly. It still might just be slick conditions because the rain isn't all that heavy, but it is raining. So yeah. What was I saying? Max Verstappen pole. Yeah, so I think Verstappen will stick it on pole by compromising his entire setup for purely qualifying performance and then defending like he did in Suzuka for the entire race and holding on to the race win. Because here in Zandvoort, it's quite narrow circuit. In fact, I'll take you through a lap of the circuit while we're here and waiting. So let me restart the lap. There we go. All right. I guess I'll just bring this up here while we're waiting. So the main thing here when you start your flying lap is to have your brakes and your tyres up to temperature because you've got quite a long, lengthy run in towards turn number one. You need to make sure your brakes aren't going to cool down in this long straight that you've got. You've got DRS activating very, very early on in the straight, which definitely helps the overtaking. You blast your way down all the way in towards turn number one. You brake at around 80 meters, brake super deep into the corner, and then get on the power to carry as much speed as you can. Then over the crest of turn number two, the car goes light, very easy to lose it. Then you take the outside line through three because you can carry so much more speed if you take the outside line. And then you continue on through 5 and 6. And these are all flat. Turn number 7 is very, very tricky. A little dab of the brakes, flick the car to the right. And now this is turn number 8 here. You tap the brakes off to the right and then braking again while steering. Very easy to lock up. Then you make your way through turn number 10. And you've got a DRS straight coming on, so you need to get a late apex, good exit, open the DRS nice and early, and then brake at the start of the curb for turn number 11 and 12. You don't want to go all the way over to the left-hand side of the circuit on the exit of 11 because you do need a good run through 12 so you can get a nice run in towards the start finish straight, and then a whole bunch of banking here. Pirelli have brought a step softer tyres this weekend. The pit lane speed limit has gone up from 60 kilometers an hour to 80 kilometers an hour, so that should help us have a two-stop race. But the other thing is that if it rains on Sunday, of course, then that's going to be a very, very different story. Yeah. All right, let me just move this back off into the corner. Alrighty. When did you get F125? I got F125 about last week. So I just thought, well, I'm called F1 Gamer. I do record all these hot laps, so I might as well get the latest F1 game. So I did, yeah. I think you could do a sub 112. Yeah, I probably could. The thing is, I'm sort of stuck in the F121 mindset. Like, all of my acceleration points, all of my braking points, they're all as if I was driving the F121 car, and the 25 cars have way more grip. So yeah, I'm nowhere near the limit of grip on these cars. So that is sort of my problem, really. I need to deprogram myself from driving the 21 cars and start driving more of the 25 cars. But we'll see. One time I sleep through FP1, everything goes berserk. Yeah, there was quite a lot of chaos, to be honest. Antonelli, in fact, I think it was at turn number 9, the corner that I was talking about, where you're turning and braking at the same time. Very, very easy to lock up. And yeah, Kimi Antonelli had an issue there, and off onto the gravel trap he went. So it's a tough one, but they're sort of expecting these mistakes from a rookie, aren't they? When are you going to clear the FP1 stats? Once the FP2 stats come through, really. Have they come through? Yes, they have. Fantastic. All right, there we go. All right. Fun fact, in the 2023 Dutch Grand Prix, there were 5 records being broken. Please do check them. I think the 2023 Dutch Grand Prix has the record for the most overtakes ever in a Formula One Grand Prix. If I'm not correct, I think it had 86 overtakes or something. It was quite the exciting Grand Prix, to be honest. Yeah. F1 Gamer, can you give your Saturday and Sunday predictions? Something annoying. No, I did give my Saturday predictions. No, I said Max would get pole. On Sunday, I don't know. I think Aston Martin are going to get a pole. Going to get a podium. That's my prediction. Why was Max's name in the dull in FP1? Did he crash? Yes, he did. Max did crash at turn number 1, right at the end of the session. When the session had ended, the clock had gone to 0, the checkered flag had waved. Verstappen crashed on the lap, on his in lap to the pits. Alrighty, what is the purple dot? So I'll just quickly explain all of that then. So you have got the DRS zone here, the green line, of course, these two DRS zones. This green dot, DRS detection point. This is a DRS detection point. This is the end of Sector 2, this is the end of Sector 1, and this is the speed trap. So at the bottom of the screen where you can see it says 0 kilometers an hour, that's where everyone's top speed gets measured just before they hit the brakes for turn number 1, and that's the dot. That's what the dot's for, just telling you where the speed trap is. All right, Hamilton shaved his beard. Yeah, clearly weight reduction, Hamilton looking to get every single ounce of performance that he can. So Hamilton doing some weight reduction there. Charles Leclerc was over the radio saying, my opinion is that we should focus on what we are doing now. We are miles off, literally miles off. You were saying that over the radio. I mean, I think that's the longest FP1 message that we've seen from Charles Leclerc ever. So he's clearly very frustrated, sending huge radio messages before we've even got anywhere near the start of the session, before the start of the race. Alright, F1 Gamer, should I play F124 while watching FP1? Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? Who is your current favourite driver except Seb? Well, I would again like to specify, Seb is my favourite driver. In fact, I'm wearing a hoodie that's got Seb on it. But I'd say favourite driver as of right now on the grid, maybe just Nico Hulkenberg because he got a podium. Maybe Sonoda. Or Alonso. I'm not really sure. Yeah. Basically, Verstappen did a rookie mistake, which Kimi did. Yeah, Verstappen. But Verstappen crashed at turn number 1, which was a little strange. Risk of rain for Formula 1 Free Practice 2 is 100%, and it's 100% because it's raining right now, ladies and gents. Raining right now. All right. Which country are you from? I am from the UK. Yeah, the UK. Yeah. All right. Also, I'm doing a face reveal, folks. As you can, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. Top right of the screen, face reveal at 200k. So once the channel hits 200k, I will be doing a face reveal. I have to order a webcam firstly, but I look forward to seeing all of you guys. Well, I'm not really going to be seeing you guys. You guys are going to be seeing me, but regardless, look forward to doing that. And look forward to also hitting 200k. That would be pretty nice. More than 186 overtakes, if I'm not wrong. Maybe the Dutch Grand Prix has even more overtakes. I'm not sure. I thought it was 86 though. The face will be AI generated. No. It'll be a proper webcam. F1 giving Misha commentary, shouting at the top of my lungs. Yeah, well, luckily my lungs have recovered. My lungs and my throat have recovered in the off season, and I'm feeling much better, and my throat is in much better condition. Yeah. All right. Some more rain forecast over the weather radar. We've just had a look here, and some more rain is expected, which is good to see. Free Practice 2 starts in 4 minutes time now, and we have got 20 cars ready and raring to go. Right. Let's see. Please can you make the team radios a little bigger? Right, I'll see what I can do, but the problem is that if I make them bigger, as in the text bigger, then there's less of them on the screen. So it's a balancing act, but I'll probably make some changes because I was fiddling with it before the start of the stream actually. So, yeah. All right, you got 2,000 people tuned in. We're 3 minutes away from the start of the session. Fantastic. Who is my favourite driver? My favourite driver is Seb Vettel. Face reveal with a mask photo of Seb. Maybe. I'd get a cardboard cutout, or I could wear my motorcycle helmet. I could. I've got a motorcycle, and I've got a helmet for it, obviously. So I could get like a tinted visor. I could just wear a helmet while streaming. My audio quality probably wouldn't be great though, because I'd just be talking directly into my helmet. Yeah. Alright, let's have a chat about some more drivers then, shall we? Let's see, who shall we talk about now? Well, why don't we talk about Isaac Hadjar? What is Isaac Hadjar's future, really, Because as of what we can currently see, Tsunoda's probably going to stay with Red Bull into 2026 because he's going to be leading some of this development of the 2026 car, because you can't fully trust Max Verstappen when developing a car because he's just so good that he will mask the issues. I think it was very similar to, Marc Marquez in MotoGP. They were developing a bike in MotoGP, and Marc Marquez, I think, is a really good rider, and very similar to Max Verstappen. And essentially what happened was that he could drive the bike but no one else could, and at a certain point they realized, oh, this is just a really bad bike and nobody can drive it except Marc Marquez. And it's a very similar thing to what happened to Max Verstappen. So they've sort of got to rely on Tsunoda's feedback a little bit more when developing the 2026 car. And I think for that reason, Tsunoda will stay with Red Bull at least till the halfway point of 2026. And then at that point, let's just consider Tsunoda does well and he keeps up reasonably with Max Verstappen. Then Hadjar and Lawson both are just there in the Red Racing Bulls team. Verstappen unlikely to leave if Red Bull nails the regulations for next year. If they don't, then Verstappen will leave, and then there's also a slot for Hadjar to go up, or maybe Lawson to go up. But yeah, it's always a tricky one with these Racing Bull drivers, or the Toro Rosso drivers, whatever you want to call them, because more often than not, the Red Bull slots are filled, and they're not going to be unfilled anytime soon. So they're sort of just waiting around, doing some good performances, and then waiting to leave the Red Bull family, essentially, because there just aren't that many opportunities for them. So, Isaac Hadjar could potentially be, let's say, I don't know who's likely to retire sometime soon. Maybe Nico Hulkenberg retires. Maybe, let's say, the first year at Audi just goes terribly, then Hulkenberg could retire, and Isaac Hadjar could be prime candidate. He's done a few years in Formula One. He's a quick driver, but he's not going to be too expensive. Yeah, Hadjar doesn't really want to be promoted up to Red Bull, at least not in its current state, because that's just a career-destroying move. However, maybe in 2026, when the car's a little bit more stable, maybe that'll work out better for him. Who knows? Fernando Alonso retires. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. It just depends on the regulations, really. On if Aston Martin have got a championship-winning car, then Fernando Alonso will not retire. But I guess we shall see. All right. Does that mean you'll have to make space on your screen for a webcam? Yeah, I will. I will have to make space on the screen for a webcam, but I'm sure it'll be not an issue. I'll be able to figure something out. Normally, anyway, these racetracks, like the map of the circuit, doesn't take up the full rectangle that's been allocated, and I can put text and stuff around it. So I'll be able to figure out a space to put a webcam in. I don't know why we're starting in virtual safety car mode, but the track was declared double yellow in sectors 2 and 3, and now it's been declared clear in sectors 2 and 3. So VSC should be ending soon. But yeah, everyone crawling out of the pit lane. We're getting a few more drivers out on hard tyres. We got Lawson out on hard, Sainz out on hards as well. I think we only saw Sonoda out on hard tyres. Was it in FP1? So yeah, some more drivers going out on the hards to see what they're like for this weekend. And yeah, folks, we have got rain reported, so if the rain does get any heavier, we will see the drivers either come into the pits and put on some inters, or maybe we will see them just sit in the garage all session long. There is rain. It's very, very minor rain, though. And the circuit is, of course, all of these circuits are built with very good drainage systems. Even if there's a tiny bit of rain, it will drain off the circuit rather quickly. So that's why that's why the teams have decided to go on slicks for now. But the rain is expected to arrive and is expected to get heavier. Is there rain in quali? Well, the forecast has predicted around 20% or so. So we'll have to find out closer to tomorrow, really. I cannot tell you for certain. DRS has been enabled again, folks. Yeah. The weather alert says there's more rain in 15 minutes time. So all of the drivers now coming out nice and early to get some running in before the rain arrives, because rain running will be valuable, but of course the dry running as well is pretty important. Alrighty then. Yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We got 3,500 people tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Really does help out the channel. And yeah, here we are for free practice 2. We've got the majority of the drivers out on the circuit, and we've got Antonelli, in fact, out on softs as well. So yeah, some more raindrops that we can see flying around on these cameras now, and I expect we'll be seeing more of that. How did FP1 go? FP1 was alright, there wasn't too much. Well, there was quite a bit of action, but nothing that important really. The Astons were 3rd and 4th, which is quite surprising. Ferraris were down in 14th and 15th, they were terrible. McLarens have way too much pace, and we had Antonelli crash, and that's about it really. Nothing all that exciting. F1 Gamer, the Indian Grand Prix will be suspended from 2026 in MotoGP. Because the government's making visas really hard. Oh, interesting. Okay. I guess we'll see. It'll be good to see the Indian Grand Prix back in Formula 1 as well. It's quite a nice circuit. I think the drivers quite enjoy it as well. Same thing with Malaysia. And, oh, folks, the rain is getting heavier and heavier. Good to see. The heavens have opened up. Not very heavily, but they have opened. And we have got some rain arriving on the circuit. It's not going to be too long now where we see the lap time start to tumble. Start to get slower and slower because the rain is falling on the circuit. We were, in fact, seeing 1 minute 10s, I think, in FP1. And now we're up to 1 minute 12s or so. Yeah, really not too much to look into. The lap times are going to be fairly slow. All right. Oh, Sainz purple first sector, purple second sector. The Williams was notoriously good in the first sector and third sector in FP1. They had the best straight line speed, top speed, and because of that, their first sector and their third sector was very, very handy. Middle sector, not so much, but somehow Sainz has got the purple middle sector here, and here he is coming across the line. What can he do? He goes quicker than Lando Norris by 1/2 of a second. Very, very nicely done. Fernando Alonso, however, takes away that fastest first sector, and yeah, we'll see what Alonso can do. He gets Stroll gets out of the way as he comes down the back straight. Albon across the line, 12th place for him, unfortunately, while his teammate is up in first. But of course, Albon is 10 seconds slower. He was doing a warm-up lap because the track is getting dangerously cold now. Well, actually, track temperature is only 27 degrees, but I suspect that the drops of rain aren't helping warm up the tyres. That's the sort of problem. Alonso purple in the middle sector. He gets a nice toe here off George Russell as well as he comes across the start-finish line. What's it going to be for Alonso? It is first position by 0.4 of a second. Purple in all three sectors for Fernando Alonso. That is not something you see every day, but he's up in first place. That purple in all three sectors didn't last very long. Behrman goes quicker in the final sector. Tsunoda goes quicker in the middle sector, and Behrman up to fifth. Hamilton up in fourth as well, and Lawson up into second. Oh, it is absolute chaos and mayhem here at the start of FP2. Norris now takes the fastest first sector away from Alonso, and yeah, all of those purple sectors have been stripped away from him, and all of the drivers now pushing. They are all pushing nice and hard because they want to get some laps in before the rain arrives. What did they come over the radio to say to Fernando Alonso? We think there'll be significant rain in 12 minutes time. Well, that's why everyone's pushing nice and hard. Good to see, good to see. Norris purple in the first and in the second sector, and here he comes. Piastri is second place, and Norris out of the final corner. No toe for him across the line. What is it going to be for the Brit? First position by 0.8 of a second. 0.8 of a second. Oh my god, he's done it again. Russell is in third, and we got Stroll up into second. It's an Aston Martin 2-3. What did I say, folks? What did I say? Where's the meme gone? Here's Fernando Alonso. Aston Martin has just turned into speed. Yeah, there we go. Aston Martin all of a sudden at speed. Where can I watch Formula 1 using a VPN? It is, there it is, a Austrian VPN server, and then you search ORF. That's how you can do that. And we'll see what Antonelli can do. Fresh set of soft tyres, only 6th position for him, unfortunately. And then we have got Nico Hülkenberg and Bortoleto on fresh softs as well. Bortoleto purple in the middle sector. Here we go then. What's it going to be for the Kick-Saubers? But Hamilton gets out of the way nicely. Leclerc, only 15th position for him. That is not a good sight if you are a Ferrari fan. And here comes Bortoleto across the line. Second position for Gabriel Bortoleto. He is on a fresh set of soft tyres, so that does give him about half a second's worth of pace over the mediums. But the Kick-Saubers are now as quick as the Aston Martins, and Aston Martins look to be the second fastest team. So, yeah, it is absolute pandemonium here in Zandvoort. The order has been totally switched up. Ferrari are nowhere to be seen. Mercedes are nowhere to be seen. And neither are Red Bull. Here comes Max Verstappen. He's on a set of hard tyres doing a quick lap here. So, yeah, we're not really going to get a representative look from what Verstappen can do unless he comes into the pits before the rain arrives. But it is expected any moment now. 10 minutes now till we get the rain arriving. Okay, Ferrari and Red Bull are cooks. Yeah, they got cooked. They have not been cooking. So Alonso improves up into fourth. That's on his second lap on those medium tyres, and we'll see what Stroll can do as well. But yeah, he didn't improve on that lap. Here comes Max Verstappen on a set of hard tyres. Fourth position for him. Okay, right. Well, never mind then. Verstappen on a set of hard tyres, which are a full second slower than the soft tyres and about half a second slower than the mediums. Goes only 0.3 slower than Lando Norris. So, if you take into account the pace difference of the hard tyres, Verstappen should be 2/10 clear of Lando Norris with that lap. So whatever setup tweaks they did make over the break between FP1 and FP2, they've gone in the right direction. Max Verstappen looks to have some reasonable pace underneath him. Liam Lawson, however, in the Racing Bull as well, isn't that far off. He's only a 10th back, and he's also on older tyres as well. So yeah, Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, Liam Lawson in the Racing Bull, around about the same lap times. I think that seems about accurate, doesn't it? Because the Red Bull have just been going down and down and down in terms of performance. Behrman goes purple in the first sector. He's on a fresh set of soft tyres as well, so to be expected. We'll see what he can do in the middle sector. And Leclerc's complaining about traffic for one of the Red Bulls. I don't know who it is, if it's Max Verstappen or Yuki Tsunoda, but he's complaining. I think it was Max, actually, but do not quote me on that. Leclerc complaining over the radio. It is what it is. Traffic is a big issue around here in Zandvoort. Narrow circuit, short circuit, only 20 cars. I mean, next year it's going to be even worse. 22 cars. Oh, a big off there for Alex Albon. Going through turn number 12, locks the brakes. Oh, Oliver Behrman is up in first position. He goes 2/10 clear of Lando Norris. Really, really good lap there from Oliver Behrman. And I'll just take you through the onboard here. Alex Albon going off into the gravel in quite a spectacular way, actually. He says, I guess the Ferrari didn't see me or something, because, yeah, Albon was, well, I think he got dirty air from the Ferrari and then is also partially blaming the Ferrari for something that could have been his mistake. But, right, let me just quickly show you the onboard. Where is it? All right, we've got Tsunoda up into 10th position. And, yeah, just at this corner here, Alex Albon has crashed. Well, not crashed, he went off into the gravel, didn't he? So, yeah, just about here. So you're coming down the DRS straight here, and what he did was he locked the rear tyres. So going into this, he's braking, but he hasn't shifted his brake balance forward enough. So the rear tyres lock as he turns into the corner, and there's a Ferrari ahead of him. He blames the Ferrari for a bit of dirty air, and then off into the gravel trap he went. So a bit unfortunate. There might be a little bit of minor damage, but apart from that, Alex Albon has just got a bruised ego and is continuing on with the running. Carlos Sainz purple in the first sector on a fresh set of soft tyres. That's good to see, and maybe he'll put himself top of the times, but there's a red flag. Someone has crashed. Who is that? Wait, why is there a red flag? Who stopped on the circuit? Stroll crashed. Stroll crashed at turn 3. Okay, there we go. Brilliant. Oh, that's a big crash there for Stroll. Huge. Yeah, it's just popped up on my screen now. Stroll has had fairly big impact. I think that's the same place where Daniel Ricciardo had an impact and then had to take a couple of races off because he broke his wrist. The power steering he crashed into the barriers, and the power steering reversed onto the steering wheel, and the impact from the wall transferred through the steering wheel onto Daniel Ricciardo's wrist, and he broke his wrist there. So hopefully Stroll's all right. But the Aston Martin was looking so quick, and here he is. Lance Stroll's just bottled it and put his put the car into the barrier. So let's see. He goes over the crest of turn number 2 and into turn number 3. Oh, just so much speed. What has he done? It looks like he forgot to hit the brakes. He braking, and then just into the barriers. He locks up, but I don't know what Stroll has done, because it looks like he says, yeah, he just comes over the radio saying, I crashed. But, I mean, is this like a brake failure? Like, how has he forgot to brake? Okay, well, I guess he locked his brakes. Yeah, he just locked it. He braked probably a little bit too late and a little bit too hard. Locked the brakes off into the barriers. Yeah, Stroll is fine. He's come over the radio to say he's fine. He's got out of the car and everything. So I'll just show you a quick replay of sort of around about what Stroll did. I guess I can just show you up here since there's not much going on, but so let's see, where are we going through? Yeah, so this is turn number 1 here. You make your way through turn number 1, and then you go over the crest for turn number 2, which Stroll does just fine, and then at this point here, I'm fully on the power, and I'm about to switch onto the brakes. There you go. I'm on the brakes at this point here, and I'm also taking a bit more of an inside line. Stroll is taking the outside line because that is the actual quicker way to do it. I'm just a bit of a bad driver, to be honest, but Stroll doesn't get onto the brakes until much later on. He's about at this point, and then he goes off into the barriers. So Yeah, very, very late braking there from Stroll, and then also locks his tyres, which doesn't help. And pretty severely damaged car for Stroll, unfortunately. No more driving for him in the free practice 2 session. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll continue on, take you through a lap of the circuit while we're waiting for the red flag, and we'll do some more trivia while we are here. So yeah, you make your way through this end of the first sector now, and then turn number 7, very, very tricky. Flick the car to the right. Little dab of the brakes and a downshift as well. Again, same thing for turn number 8. Now braking and turning at the same time. Kimi Ante locked up here, and yeah, you just got to be very, very careful. Now turn number 10, you got a DRS straight ahead of you, so you got to get a late apex, nice, good exit onto the straight. Open up the DRS nice and early, and then brake at the start of the curb. Don't go all the way over to the right-hand side there, so let me just rewind that a couple of seconds. Yeah, so you're coming into the braking zone here, you hit this first apex, but you don't want to run all the way over to the left-hand side. You want to leave a little bit of gap here because you need to get a nice run through turn number 12 as well. And yeah, it's more optimal to actually lose a little bit of lap time at turn number 11 so you can gain it all back on the exit of turn number 12. And then you come through the final 2 corners, and that is a lap of Zandvoort, folks. All right. Yeah. All right, the marshals are having a quick look at the barriers. There may need to be some barrier repairs to go on. Stroll crashed, that's why we've got a red flag, and some barrier repairs, some cleaning up of some gravel and stuff like that needs to be done. But they're going to check the barriers, make sure everything's fine, and then once everything has been declared A-OK, we'll be getting some more running. But yeah. Poor Stroll crashed. I mean, yeah, we do make fun of Stroll a little bit too much, don't we? Here, bit unfortunate though for Stroll. Braked a little bit too late and then locked up a wheel and just lost all deceleration. F1 Gamer, you need to make Goat Stroll merch now. Yeah, maybe I do. I think I have Goat. I have Goat merch for Nico Hulkenberg actually. I don't know if I have selected it in the. I don't know. I haven't downloaded the image yet, but I've got some merch here, folks. It's on the. Where is it? There's a link in the description. If you guys are interested, go ahead and check it out. Yeah, I think it's quite nice. But of course, up to you. If you think it's nice, go ahead and get it. If not, then don't. But this Prince of Monaco shirt I think is quite cool. With like a sort of a newspaper style of writing of Charles Leclerc's 2024 win. But yeah, let me know what you think. I will get all of the other drivers made. I haven't done designs for every single driver just yet, so I will be getting around to doing that sometime soon. All right, so let's have some trivia. Folks, which season was it which driver and which season was it when a driver finished on the podium every single Grand Prix of the season? Yeah, that's well, I don't know. Maybe it's common knowledge. Depends how long you've been watching Formula One. But there was a season and there was a particular driver that that driver ended up on the podium every single Grand Prix of the season. No, that is incorrect, folks. It's not 2023 Max Verstappen. It was so close to be 2023 Max Verstappen. Apart from the one race in Singapore, Verstappen was on the podium for every single race, but on the Singapore Grand Prix, I think he ended up finishing 5th or something. But it was 2002, Michael Schumacher. I think there were only 17 races that year or something, but regardless, Schumacher, or 17 or 19 races maybe, but Schumacher finished on the podium every single year in 2002. Yeah, incredible consistency there from Michael Schumacher. Let's see. The red flag is for Lance Stroll, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a notes app here of a bunch of trivia questions, so I shall find some more. Oh yeah, which driver from 2011 till 2015 never got a penalty for a driving infraction? So this driver raced on the Formula One calendar from 2011 to 2015. Probably did some more years before and after that, but between those years, he never got a penalty for anything. No overtakes, no pit lane speeding, no crashing into a driver, nothing. Which driver was it that never got a penalty between 2011 and 2015? Did you watch the F1 movie? Indeed, I did. Indeed, I did. Mm. All right, we are still under red flag conditions. The track has been declared clear where Stroll crashed, so now they're just checking the barriers, and then we should be good to go. Let's see. Oh, there's we've got a lot of people in the chat here that have typed an answer, but it is someone called Arthur and someone called Random Subscriber. Only two people have got it right. Oh, and Ashan Ahmed. The answer is Nico Rosberg. Nico Rosberg never got a penalty between 2011 and 2015. 5 consecutive seasons without a penalty. I think that's pretty incredible, actually, isn't it? Interesting start, isn't it? Right. What else have we got going on then? So when is the session going to restart then? FIA, you're gonna give us a little bit of information here. That would be pretty cool. If you could tell us when. Oh, session's going to resume in 30 seconds time, folks. Oh no, not 30 seconds. 50. What's it? 56 seconds or something like that. Yeah. Basically, in 1 minute, we are going to have a session restart. Track has been declared clear, and yeah, the pit lane is going to open in 52 seconds. Brilliant. Brittany. Yeah, it was Brittany or Nico Rosberg. Alrighty. Let's see, what else have we got? Which is the longest race on... Which has been the longest race in terms of time, so like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Which race was the longest ever Formula One race? And how many hours did it take? Yeah, that'll probably be the last trivia question because the pit lane is opening in about 10 seconds. But I guess we'll see. We got small little drops of rain here and there on the circuit, so we'll see if the drivers go out onto the track. Some of them are still considering it, some of them are not. Correct, it is 2011 and Canada, and it is 4 hours long, folks. 4 hours long. That is how long it was, and that record can never be broken, at least under the current regulations, because the rules now stipulate a Formula One Grand Prix must be finished in less than 3 hours. So, yeah, 2021, Canada was the longest ever Formula One race. Oh, did I say 2021? I said 20. I meant 2011. All right. Also, another probably unbreakable record here. Which driver? Okay, there are two drivers and two different years which this record happened. But which driver and in which year did the Formula One driver never qualify lower than second position in the entire Formula One season? So every single race from the start of the season right till the end, this driver did not qualify lower than second position. Which year and which driver was it? This one might be a little bit more tricky. I don't think it's as well known. But Stroll's car is currently sat at the inside of turn number 3, and there's a bunch of photographers there. You may be seeing some Mercedes photographers, some Red Bull photographers are all making their way towards turn number 3. Take some photos of the Aston Martin, see what Adrian Newey has been cooking up. No, folks. So a lot of you have said Max, a lot of you said Hamilton, a lot of you saying Bottas and Lewis, but It's a little bit older. Oh, Lilith has typed Senna in 1989, and that is correct. So the Senna did it once in 1989, never qualified lower than second position, and there is one more driver that did it in another season of Formula One. And I'm going to give you a hint. It was a fierce competitor of Ayrton Senna, but it wasn't in the same year. So which year was it? All right. But we got the drivers back out onto the track here for FP2, and we've had our sort of quick runs, and now the teams are going to be doing some long runs. Wait for the rain to sort of pass over. They'll be still dealing with some little drops here and there, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue because it's really not all that intense. It was Prost, and it was Prost in 93. That is correct. Alex in the chat has typed Prost 93. Yes, in 1993, Alain Prost never qualified lower than second position for the entire Formula One season. All right. Oh, yellow flag. Who's that for? Kimi Antonelli. Oh, Isaac Hadjar at turn number 8. He's still no way we get another red flag immediately after one's just finished. Hadjar is still at turn number 8. What is going on here? Double yellow is now being waved, and more yellow flags are now being waved. Is he in the gravel? Is he making his way out? Turn number 8. Oh, we've got VSC deployed. Still no footage of what's actually happened to Isaac Hadjar. That would be, it would be nice to show us. Oh, he's just stopped. Oh, no power, no power. Oh, that's strange. The Honda power units haven't been so bad this year. I mean, they haven't been so bad for quite a few years now. But yeah, some technical issues have been arising, I guess. All of the teams looking to extract every little bit of performance that they can, so they're running the engines in slightly higher modes and stuff like that. But Isaac Hadjar, no power, stopped at the side of the circuit, and that'll be the end of his FP2 session. The VSC is deployed. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to bring a tractor out onto the circuit while the VSC is out. Maybe they are not. Nigel Mansell 1992 season. Okay, maybe Nigel Mansell in the 92 season as well did it. I'm not 100% sure though. As of right now, I just know it was Senna in 89 and Prost in 93. Right, well, VSC is still deployed. Hadjar has stopped on the side of the circuit. He's got out the car. They've confirmed that he's going to retire. Now the question is, are they going to deploy a red flag to bring the lorry out onto the circuit, or are they just going to pick up the lorry under VSC conditions? Right. Oh, also, folks, right, so between 2017 and 2020, every single front row start was done by a Mercedes, a Red Bull, or a Ferrari, apart from 2 occasions, and both of these occasions was done by one driver. Between 2017 and 2020, there was one driver, apart from a Ferrari, Mercedes, or Red Bull driver, that was on the front row. During qualifying, and which driver was that? And which 2 Grand Prix was it as well? If you can remember that, that would be pretty mega. All right, but yeah, VSC still deployed. Everyone now crawling around at a snail's pace, and yeah, they have got a lorry out ready or a lorry or a tractor, whatever it is, to pick it up. It was Lance Stroll. It was Lance Stroll. Danny Rick was at Red Bull during 2017 and 2018. So, yeah, Lance Stroll was on the front row in the 2017 Italian Grand Prix in Monza, and then 2020 Turkish Grand Prix, he was on the front row. Or maybe he got pole in that one. I can't remember if he got pole or if he got the front row, but 2017 Monza and 2020 Turkey, those are the 2 races, and it was Lance Stroll, clearly the GOAT. I mean, is there any other driver that could have done that? No, just Lance Stroll. Yeah, absolutely beautiful from Stroll. Okay. Alrighty then, still VSC deployed, and I don't know why these drivers are driving around under VSC. You might as well just come into the pits. I'm sure they're not gathering that much useful data. But yeah, Isaac Hadjar just coasting around the circuit. He had a pretty big loss of power, and then I think he was changing some steering knobs here and there, trying to sort stuff out. But yeah, ended up just stopping on the side of the circuit after his team told him to do so. Alrighty. It's green again. Yeah, well, there we go. VSC is ending. Very nice. All right, finally, we're getting some more running. Brilliant. F1 Gamer, my question for you. Which driver has the fastest lap over several seconds in the race? Oh, well, I don't know. It must, the fastest lap over several seconds during a race. Maybe Senna, at some point in wet conditions or something. I'm not really sure. What are your predictions for Cadillac in the 2026 World Constructors Championship? Ooh, I'm going to predict that they get eighth position. I think. I don't, I'm not really expecting them to hit the ground running and go up into like top team level performance, but although there is an outside chance because right, so from all of the current, Formula One teams, they have these engineers. They've been working on the 2026 regulations. They will have read the regulations as soon as the first draft came out, looking for loopholes, looking for things to look at. But within the first couple of months or so of thinking about these regulations, they will have fallen into this sort of like thinking inside the box, and albeit they'll be trying to think outside the box, think of things that can break loopholes. I think the Cadillac engineers coming fresh from outside of Formula One, a lot of them will have experience in other motorsports, and they'll be looking at these Formula One regulations for the first time. I think maybe just from an outside perspective, they might be able to find some loophole that another Formula One team may not be able to find, just because they don't have the outside knowledge, the outside experience of other motorsports. And there's an outside chance that Cadillac could find a loophole and be the quickest team on the grid. But yeah, very, very minimal chance. But I did think that there is a chance of that to happen. Otherwise, probably going to be eighth position. Yeah. All right. Good to see them both back, but it's still weird they didn't choose younger drivers. Yeah, well, I think Audi, the reason why they went with Gabriel Bortoleto is because they already have, when Audi bought Sauber or are sponsoring Sauber, whatever they're doing, they're still working with engineers that have worked in Formula One for quite a while. They have a lot of knowledge, experience, etc., etc. And that's why they can get away with, say, just one experienced driver in the form of Nico Hulkenberg. Whereas when you're Cadillac and you're a totally new team and you have engineers from outside of Formula One, only a few from inside of Formula One, that's when the experience from the driver's side is a lot more critical, and I think that's why they went for the decision to have two experienced drivers. Why is Piastri not on soft? It's just because they're doing different run plans. Yeah, like they'll be looking to see what Piastri's tyre wear is like on medium tyres, and then compare that to Norris's and stuff like that. All right. What happened to Isaac? Power loss. Power loss. His Honda power unit decided to give up. All right. Leclerc improves up into 12th, unfortunately, only for him. Hamilton, however, fresh set of soft tyres. What can Lewis do? Piastri improves on old set of medium tyres to go into 5th position. He's only 4/10ths back from Nico Hulkenberg, who's currently top of the times. So very nice job there from Hulkenberg, firstly. Yeah, mega lap. And yellow flag again at turn number 8 where Hadjar's car was, but that's been cleared up pretty quick. Now we have got Norris out onto the circuit as well. We'll see what Hamilton's middle sector is like, but I don't know if he's backed out of it because he's made a mistake. He has. Oh, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Hamilton was on a pretty quick lap and then backed out due to a mistake on the exit of turn number 10, I think. Oh, very, very unfortunate. Oh no! Oh, a spin, not even a mistake, a pretty big spin actually. My footage is a little bit delayed here today, but yeah, Hamilton pretty big spin at turn number 9, and that's why he backed out of his lap. Just no confidence in the car. Hamilton spun not yesterday in FP1 as well, so I don't know really what's going on there with Lewis Hamilton, but clearly not feeling so good in the car today. Some pretty significant issues for him. Cadillac will, with the Ferrari engines, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, Cadillac, of course, they don't want to jump in, with both the aero and the chassis development and also the engine development. It's quite a big ask, really. So I think that's why they've opted to use Ferrari power units. They'll later decide to use their own, but for the first couple of years, they're going to hit their ground running with a Ferrari power unit. Alonso, purple first sector, purple second sector. He comes out the final corner, gets a nice toe off Alex Albon as well to boost him along the start-finish straight. First position by 1 whole second. Fernando Alonso, incredible. Aston Martin are back, ladies and gentlemen. They are back. Where's the meme gone? There we go. Aston Martin all of a sudden. Yeah, they're back. How does he do this? I have no idea. But Norris is currently on a flying lap. And if he goes slower than Fernando Alonso, it's clear to see we are getting Aston Martin domination this Grand Prix. Russell across the line, second place for him. He's 3/10 back from Alonso. Norris across the line. We beat Alonso by 87 milliseconds. But regardless, Alonso is only 87 milliseconds back from Lando Norris, the McLaren, which is an absolute rocket ship. Somehow, Alonso only 87 milliseconds behind. I'm really not sure where this pace has come from, because Aston Martin have not brought an upgrade package. I checked the FIA documents to see if Aston Martin brought an upgrade package. Nothing. Totally empty. So they are using the exact same car that they had before, and somehow Alonso is driving it much, much quicker. All right. What was I going to say? I forgot. I've totally forgot. But Russell as well, looking pretty good. So Russell's performance has also improved, so that's good to see. That should help him out, really, because the Mercedes weren't looking too good in FP1. Antonelli is still quite a ways back. I don't know how much experience Antonelli has in Formula 2 racing here. I don't know if Formula 2 actually do race here as well, but yeah, not a lot of junior drivers, rookie drivers have experience at this circuit. So yeah, it'll be a bit of a learning curve for Antonelli. All right, Charles Leclerc's on a flying lap as well. Fresh set of soft tyres, green in the first and the second sectors. Piastri goes quick in the first sector as well. He's second fastest behind Alonso. And very, very nicely done. All right, let's see what Leclerc can do across the line. Fourth place for Charles Leclerc. Very nice lap there from Charles. And yeah. Ferrari look to have improved a bit, but I say improved a bit, they're still 1 full second slower than Lando Norris. So I don't know. Yeah, Hamilton has got some ground to make up as well. We'll see. He comes across the line now. He goes ahead of Charles Leclerc by a 1/10, but still the gap 9/10 of a second. Way too big. Way too big. Piastri improves. He goes 87 milliseconds behind Norris, 2 milliseconds behind Fernando Alonso. Absolutely fantastic here, ladies and gents. Fernando Alonso is truly up there. So some serious pace. Tsunoda up into 6th position, and Max Verstappen also now on a flying lap. So we'll see what those soft tyres can do for him. Alrighty then. But this is getting reasonably exciting. With a very surprising Aston Martin up there as second fastest team. The wind 15 kilometers per hour, folks. 15 kilometers per hour blowing from the southwesterly direction. I think this might be what's helping out Alonso here, because the wind is blowing in this direction here from the southwest. So we've got this compass here. But Verstappen into 5th position. He's 6/10 back. But basically, who's this? Who is this? Let's see. Is that Albon? Albon it is. On the exit of turn number 1, has he beached his car on the gravel? Has he managed to get going? He manages to get going. He's crawling his way around. Oh, no, double yellow flag is out. And no, okay. Oh, oh my God. Did they actually declare the red flag for Albon? Albon's managed to keep going, but now the FIA have told him to stop. I'm not sure what's happened, but Albon went straight on into the barriers he went. In fact, I can show you an exact replay of what happened to Alex Albon because I, in fact, did it myself. Where is it? Yeah, let's skip to the end here. This is exactly what Alex Albon did. Straight into the barriers. No, he braked a little bit earlier and went off to a little bit to the right, but regardless, he did go into the barriers and has now stopped the car on the side of the circuit. So yeah, not ideal. Science was also on a purple lap as well. Well, purple first sector at least before the red flag came out. But there was really no need for a red flag for that one because Albon was about to get going again. So anyway, yeah, second red flag of the session here, folks. All right, we've got the actual replay of what happened to Albon, and yeah, it goes into the brakes. Goes onto the brakes, locks up, doesn't unlock the tyres, and then, oh, he barely hits the gravel trap. Like, oh, yeah, you did not need a red flag for that. He would have been able to make his way out. Just a huge lockup, huge flat spot on his tyres as well. Somehow didn't unlock it as well, which is very strange. But yeah, that's the thing. Because when you go into a heavy braking zone, you do want to shift your brake balance forward to, get the maximum performance out of the car. But then what you want to do also is be able to turn especially into turn number one. You want to be trail braking, so you're going to be braking and turning at the same time. The tire's only really good at doing one thing at a time, and yeah, either you brake or you turn or you lock up. Or you try to do both and you lock up and you go off into the barriers. Oh no, Albon said that he beached it himself. Okay, because on the map he was still moving around on the GPS, so I thought, oh yeah, I'll be able to make his way out. All right. Look at this, George Russell. As you can probably tell by the tone of my voice, I was not expecting that. I don't know what. I think he's referring to the fact that Alex Albon has crashed, but yeah, interesting radio messages from George Russell. What are my quali predictions? I think Max Verstappen is going to go for a fully qualifying oriented setup. McLaren are going to go for a race setup, and Max Verstappen is going to stick it on pole. That is my prediction. But to be honest, with Max 6/10 back and the conditions being fairly level, like it's not like anyone's got any loads of extra fuel or anyone's on soft tyres and the other drivers on mediums. They're all on softs, they're all on fresh softs. The track conditions were about the same, but Verstappen 6/10 back. All right. Oh, the other thing, what I was talking about with Fernando Alonso is the wind. The wind was blowing at 15 kilometers per hour, so it's blowing from the southwesterly direction. So in this direction, the wind's coming. So you're coming to turn number one, and you've got a tailwind here. So you lose a lot of grip. But then on the exit at turn number one, you've got a headwind, and you have a load of grip there. So I think because Fernando Alonso a little bit more experience, and all of these drivers, especially the best drivers, they have a lot of reserve, extra mental capacity when they are driving the car. So Alonso knows the wind's coming from this direction, and he's like, okay, if the wind's coming from this direction, then I'm going to get a lot more downforce here, so I can get onto the power a little bit earlier. So he gets onto the power earlier, gains more lap time on all of the other drivers. Then going through turn number 3, he knows that he's also going to get more downforce through here. So he sends it with a bunch of commitment into turn number 3. On the exit of 3, he knows he's going to lose a bit of downforce. So he plays it a little bit more cautious going through turn number 3. So yeah, quite interesting. Maybe Fernando Alonso is doing that. Maybe the Aston Martin's just really quick. But I think that is one, at least, hypothesis of how Alonso has just managed to extract so much pace out of that Aston Martin. George Russell has... wait, what? Why is Russell... Oh, no. Wait, never mind. I think Russell had some issues in the pit lane, and that's what he was talking about. But... regardless, must have been the wind. Indeed. Session is going to resume in 51 seconds, folks. 51 seconds, and we're getting the session to restart. Yeah, Alex Albon compromising his running a little bit. 17 minutes left of the session that he misses out on, but he's not going to be too heartbroken at the end of the day. He did have a fairly successful day otherwise. F1 Gamer, can you try adding a soundboard in the future? I felt like playing a driver's BGM during moments would be quite funny and entertaining, like Fernando Alonso moments. ages ago. What do you think? Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea. I'm just not sure about the whole copyright thing about that because Formula One is pretty strict. Like I have a nice agreement with Formula One that I can stream all of this and not have any issues, but I don't know about the rest of like playing Fernando Alonso radio of like all the time you have to leave the space because yeah, I just don't want my stream to get taken down basically. All right. What's the sort of setup bias in Zandvoort? Well, the teams are running pretty high levels of downforce around here in Zandvoort because there are a lot of fast flowing corners and you benefit greatly from the downforce because an extra little bit of downforce means that you don't have to tap the brakes, which means you don't have to unsettle the car, which means that you can push a lot harder, you can drive over the curbs more aggressively. So Zandvoort sort of lends itself to having a little bit more downforce on the cars, and that makes the DRS more effective. That makes overtaking slightly easier. So yeah, overall sort of good news. And then in terms of setup bias, the cars, the big punishing corners on this circuit, they're all right-hand corners. You've got turn number 1 here, right-hand corner, turn number 7, right-hand corner, 8, right-hand corner, and then 13, 14, also right-handers. So you see your front left tire wear out a lot more than your front right. So the teams modified their setup a little bit, so it's slightly, it's not perfectly symmetrical. The setup on the left hand side is ever so slightly different to the setup on the right hand side to account for the fact that you will get more tire wear on the left side, and so they can manage that. I meant like the background music, as in do Max Verstappen. I definitely can't play that song. I would love to. In fact, back in 2021, before the Super Max song like officially even got a copyright or anything like that, I would play the Super Max song on streams when Max would win the race or whatever. But then it got copyrighted, and then yeah, I just can never play it again. It's a little bit unfortunate. If I was on Twitch, maybe I would be able to, but not on YouTube, unfortunately. Bro, who's your most favourite drivers on the grid apart from the Papaya boys? Well, McLaren drivers aren't really my favourites, but I answered this earlier. I think, what did I say? I said Hulkenberg, Sonoda, and Alonso, I think. Yeah, my favourite driver is Seb Vettel, so I don't really mind too much about who's winning and who's not. Can you make subtitles available, please? I actually got notified about this. YouTube sent me an email saying that captions aren't working. So yeah, YouTube themselves are having some issues with the captions, and that's why they're not coming up on the screen if you are trying to use them. So I do apologize, but yeah, YouTube sent an email out saying that captions aren't working. We're trying to work out on how to fix it. Those were the days, lol. Yeah, very quite the exciting. I had quite a few I had quite a few soundboards actually. I would play like I don't know. I had quite a few songs though on that or sound effects when I was commentating back in 2021. Anyway, 13 minutes left of the session here, folks. We have got all of the drivers out. We've had the soft tyre runs, we've had the quick runs now, and everyone now is going to be doing their long run performances towards the end of the session. So I guess we shall see what happens. Lawson improves though. He's on a soft tire run, and not all of the drivers are on soft tire runs. I think maybe Sainz is going to do one more soft tire run because he's got aborted while Albon brought out the red flag. Antonelli also improves up into 11th from him. He's still quite a ways back from his teammate George Russell, but I think it's his first time at the Zandvoort circuit, so fair enough. Kicks up quite a bit of gravel there, does Kimi Antonelli, on the exit of the final corner as well. So, yeah, we'll see how he does. How are the cars so fast on the straights compared to other straights and different tracks? It's the fact is that the straight looks quite small on the map. However, when you consider the fact that the driver is pretty much flat from here, from turn number 13, and you sort of extend that straight along, like this straight progresses all the way over to like this point in the circuit. So it's quite a long straight, and that's why they can reach up to 320 k's around the streets of Zandvoort. All right. Yeah, yeah. All right, Colapinto up into ninth. Oh, very nice job there from Colapinto. We've had three DNFs or so, shall we say, from this session. Albon out, Stroll out, Hadjar out. Stroll crashes, Albon crashes, and Hadjar with a power unit failure. Yeah. Bro, talk about the Piastri Russell incident. There's no. I mean, look, folks. If there's a Piastri Russell incident that's just happened now in free practice, like it's because of traffic and the fact that the drivers and the engineers aren't used to all of the traffic calls that they have to make around the circuit here. So yeah, really not that big of a thing in terms of pace difference. There's a 0.3 difference between Piastri and Russell. Yeah, Russell has still got some work to do, but Piastri, his main focus really to stay ahead of Lando Norris. Let's pull up the Drivers' Championship actually while we are here. The Drivers' Championship. Oscar Piastri 284 points, Lando Norris 275. That points gap is 9 points only. So Norris will be doing his best to close that up, and if he can get first and not Piastri can get second, that 9 point gap goes to a 2 point gap, and Piastri will, of course, doing his best to extend it. Norris has had a bit of luck on his side so far when it comes to, what should we say, just penalties and stuff, but he's also made his fair share of mistakes. Piastri, of course, he had his big mistake out in Australia in his first race of the season in front of his home fans, but since then he's been relatively flawless. He did have that issue in Silverstone where he got a 5-second time penalty for braking too hard under the safety car, but apart from that, Piastri's been pretty good at keeping things under control. Alrighty then. What else is going on the circuit? We have got, yeah, good mix of tires here actually. Quite a good mix of softs, mediums, and hards. So it is, yeah, this is the thing. Pirelli brought one step softer tires this weekend, so the teams actually do have a pretty good choice of which tires to use during the race, during qualifying. Well, during qualifying, obviously it's the soft tires, but during the race, the soft tires aren't that bad in terms of tyre wear by the looks of it, so they could get away with using soft tyres if track temperatures stay low. Currently, track temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, but let's say it drops to 20 degrees Celsius or 25 degrees Celsius. The soft tyres could work well. If it gets hotter though, maybe not. All right. What else have we got going on here then? Yeah, drivers just going around the circuit, to be honest. F1 Gamer, your prediction about Verstappen is kind of similar to a Suzuka lap, right? Because of track similarity. Indeed, it is. Yeah. Indeed, it is. They are investigating Oscar Piastri and George Russell. Oh, that. Apologies, folks. Apologies. I just saw it pop up on the race control. Yeah, this was what George Russell was talking about, saying, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that over the tone of my voice." Something happened in the pit lane. I think Russell got. I think Piastri got released into Russell, or Russell got released into Piastri. I'm not sure what happened, but that is getting investigated after the session. I didn't see the replay up on my screen. I was sorting something else out for the stream, unfortunately. But it's going to be probably a fine most of the time. If it happens in practice, what they do is that they say it's the team's fault and then the team has to pay a fine. If it's during a race, then typically they will give out a grid penalty because the team were trying to gain more points and they were being cheeky. So yeah, that is essentially what is probably going to happen. If it gets investigated and they were actually made a pretty big mistake, safety misjudgment and stuff like that, it will be a pretty big fine coming their way. All right. Um, Exoteric, raw cheek baby. Let's go, Williams. Yeah, Williams will be pretty good, won't they? Well, they were 16th and 17th right now. However, their pace was looking pretty solid before. We'll see what Williams can do. But thank you for the donation, Exoteric. Very much is appreciated, buddy. And yeah, we are back here at Zandvoort, back here racing. 6 minutes left of the session here, folks, and we have got the drivers still lapping around, just doing their long runs, really. Lawson, Leclerc, and Alonso still in the pits. In fact, Lawson just makes his way out of onto the circuit right now. And yeah. Also, folks, if you do have any sort of suggestions on what I can do to improve my commentary, improve the stream, be sure to drop them in the chat now. You know, there's not too much going on the circuit, so I will make sure to read all your messages. And yeah. Thank you very much for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button as well. Hopefully we can hit 1,000 likes or so. And we're 100 subscribers away from 189k. And yeah, I'll be doing a face reveal at 200. What did Aston have for breakfast? Well, I don't know. I don't even know if it was Aston. I just think it's Fernando Alonso, no? Stroll, of course, he had his crash, but his pace was looking pretty solid before as well. Bro didn't pay attention. Yeah, I mean, apologies, folks. I do miss things occasionally. Yeah, with streaming, of course, I've got to pay attention to the stream and all of the other stuff while the race is also going on. So, do apologise for missing some issues. Probably should have picked up on the Piastri Russell thing a little bit earlier on. The pit lane incident between those two. Reduce your filler words like yeah, etc. Yeah, that is very, very true. I do notice that quite a bit. In fact, I downloaded like the captions of my stream once and like searched how many times I said you or no, not you or like or whatever, and I said it approximately like 5 times every minute or so, and I'm saying like while I'm saying this as well, so it is what it is. Hopefully I do get better with that. I think it's just more sort of being conscious with what you're saying and then you realize it. Adrian finally got paid by Aston. Well, Adrian Newey has still just been working on the 2026 car. The Aston Martin car seems to be working well in the high downforce circuits like Hungary, like Imola. So here we are at Zandvoort, another high downforce circuit, and Aston Martin is delivering. So with some more races up ahead in Canada, you know, Monza is not going to be a good race for them, but Singapore, that is coming up after Baku, I think, is also going to be a good race for the Astons. What other races have we got that are going to be high downforce? I think Las Vegas will be relatively high downforce. Who knows? All right, what else have we got going on then? Just Antonelli in the pits now, apart from all of the drivers that have, of course, had their DNFs. And yeah, track warming up a little bit. The wind conditions are staying the same. And thankfully for the drivers here, the wind hasn't been too inconsistent from its direction. You know, it's been still blowing from the south or the southwesterly direction. And that at least allows the drivers to get a feel for things. However, let's just imagine tomorrow the winds flip directions. There is going to be, all of the drivers are just going to be like, oh, the car performs totally differently to yesterday. They're going to have to get used to it. It's a very, very big difference of the wind speeds around here, 15 kilometers per hour or so, especially when you're going through a slow speed corner. Like when you're going through turn number 1 or so, you're going, say, I think 100 k's, maybe 100 k's. So adding on an extra 15, 20 kilometers per hour, that's a 20%, 15% increase in downforce. And increase in speed, which means your increase in downforce is like a 40, 50% increase in speed. So wait, no, it's a 20% increase in speed, 40% increase in downforce. And yeah, regardless, it changes up things a lot. So the drivers will have to get used to that very, very quickly if the winds do change direction. But, you know, you're near the sea, the wind generally stays blowing from one direction only. Oh, we got a replay here from Oscar Piastri making his way through turns number 8 and 9. Turn number 9, extremely tricky, a little bit of a lock-up, and runs wide, dips a wheel off into the grass. Yeah, the little bit of understeer. Well, not even a little bit, quite a bit of understeer, to be honest, from Oscar Piastri's McLaren there. And they'll be looking to get that resolved, maybe stiffening up the suspension or adding some more downforce. Speaking of Las Vegas, you think there'll be a lot of viewers for Las Vegas, especially how the world sees the US and how expensive is Las Vegas right now? I think there'll be enough fans that will go to Vegas for the Grand Prix just within the US. I don't know how many will travel from outside of the US to go to the Las Vegas circuit. There are much better options, really. But yeah, I'm guessing if you're in Canada, you go to the race in Canada, and if you're in Mexico, you go to the race in Mexico. And if you're anywhere else in the world, there's probably a closer Grand Prix that isn't the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So you probably just gonna have Americans at that one. The wind is blowing hard in the Netherlands, pretty much southwest wind. Oh, fair enough. Well, thanks, Clement, for the information. I'm not really I don't live in the Netherlands, so I don't really know much about the typical wind directions. Your filler words kind of act a more human effect to a commentary, which differs it from the more traditional one. I don't mind it much, while others on YouTube look like they haven't eaten in weeks. Eaten in weeks? I don't know how that's related, but thank you very much. Yeah, I guess it also makes it more human. There's always a trade-off, there's an aspect of being more professional and sounding like a proper commentator, and there's also the more aspect of sounding more like a relatable person that is just a Formula One fan watching Formula One. So who knows? But apart from that, apologies for a bit of a podcast session, because there really hasn't been much going on. The checkered flag is now waving. Russell comes across the line to take it as the first driver. And we are getting some quick runs here. I think Piastri and Norris are on some quick runs. They are on heavy fuel, though, by the looks of it, because they're around a second or so slower than their previous sector times. So they are doing quick runs, are McLaren and are Piastri and Norris, but they are doing it on heavy fuel. So not too much to look into there. Info about Cadillac joining. Cadillac, well, they'll be joining a new team. They'll be taking the Ferrari power unit. They will be having Bottas and Perez as drivers. And they are hiring a lot of people in the UK, actually. So, if you're interested in working in Formula One, have a look on the Cadillac Formula One website. Maybe there's a job for you. All right, let's see what these lap times are looking like. Yeah, to be honest, look, they're all just yellow. Nobody really is improving now on this final lap. Nothing much important happening, so I kind of like the F1 podcast session. Well, thank you very much. I watched the race with mute with your comms. I prefer it this way. Generally, there's lag, but it's fixable. Yeah, normally what you can do is you can pause either my stream or the race, and then you can sync it up using the timer on my screen and the timer on the race, or the whatever session it is, and then it works fine. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. Just a quick message here: if you guys are interested in the merch that I've made, there's a link in the description, there's a link in the chat. Go ahead and check that out. I think it's quite cool. I'm wearing them right now. The t-shirts are 100% cotton. They're all pretty nice quality. The prints are nice, they don't shrink and stuff like that, and the hoodies are also very, very nice indeed. So go ahead and check them out if you guys are interested. I will be getting all of the other drivers made and put through, but if your favorite driver is here, go ahead and have a look. And apart from that, I think that's all from me, really. That has been Free Practice 1, Free Practice 2. I'm going to end the stream now. I'll take you over to the Free Practice, to the Quali stream. So if you could hit the reminder button, the like button on the Quali stream, it really helps the YouTube algorithm. Like, the reason the channel has grown from, 100k to 188k this year is purely due down to the people that hit the like button and hit the reminder button before the stream starts. So very, very big thank you to all of you. And I please hope that you carry on doing it in the future. But yeah, I'll take you over to Quali stream, and the FP3 stream will be up on the channel in about 1 minute once the stream finishes. So that's all from me. Cheers everyone for tuning in, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow for an exciting qualifying session with some rain forecast as well. There is more rain forecast. It's a little bit, light rain like we saw today, but still more rain forecast. So let's wait and see. Okie dokes. And yeah, that's all from me. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.